Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Let me see what I'm telling y'all today. Acknowledge your mistakes with a man. Acknowledge your mistakes. Ladies, you know me, you know Uncle Ron. I'm going to tell y'all the real deal. And you know I'm doing it from a place of love. And one of the things I'm seeing with a lot of women is not acknowledging your mistakes with a man. Because I've known tons of women, they'll say, well, he did this, he did that. And he wasn't this, he wasn't that. And I point out to them, yet you dealt with them, you had sex with them. Some of them I said you had babies with, you dealt with them all this time. So you had to do some stuff too. It's never just one-sided. Never. Why were you with him? You must have did something. At the minimum, you made the choice to be with him. At the minimum. And that's the minimum. It's usually some other stuff. You know what? There's a lady I know. I ain't gonna call her name. And, you know, she real cool. She see this, she'll probably be like, Rob, yeah, you were talking about me. And the thing with it was, I remember when she broke up from her husband, divorced her husband, she was saying all the stuff he was doing. But then she did something which I really admired. I say, that's what she said at first. Maybe about a year later, we follow each other on social media. She talked about all the stuff she did. Yeah, he did some stuff. And, you know, even in my opinion, he was incorrect on some things. But she acknowledged her part in it. See, ladies, here's the reality of a relationship. It's never just one-sided. Yeah, you could say he did all this stuff, but first, like I said, the basic thing is you made the choice to be with him. Did he hold a gun to your head? You know, when he was pleasuring you sexually, did he force you? Because if he forced you, it's rape. You made a decision. You could have told him no. And even in a situation where he was abusing, was forcing, what did you do about it? Did you try to escape? You know, yes, he was wrong, but you're dealing with it. And then what were you doing? Because trust me, I've seen both sides of relationships. I've been on my side, and I've seen what women have done. Because every single woman who could say, well, Ron didn't do this. And yeah, I had my weaknesses. I had my definite weaknesses. But then I could say, well, what did you do? And I pointed that out. I was like, well, no, you had this, you had that. You know? Because understand, when a man and a woman interact, it's just that they interact. They respond, you're reacting, you trying to establish an agenda, they're responding. More men, if they smart enough, they trying to establish what they doing, you're responding. So it's never just a case of just one-sidedness. See, if you try to say it's just one side, you're not acknowledging some stuff. And that's a key thing. Now, I tell men this too. I've told men, they say, you complain about that woman. Like one man, had a problem with his wife cheating all the time, like blatant. And I just looked at him. I said, why are you still with him? He's staying with him. In fact, even after all of that, stayed together. But getting mad at her, I was like, well, what are you doing about it? You made a choice. What is it about you? And see, the thing is, ladies, you know, we can talk all day about the back and forth, and that's some real talk. But I'm trying to help you here. And the thing is, you have to first acknowledge. You have to acknowledge with your mistakes. What didn't you do? You know? What didn't you do? You know, I knew this, I've talked with a lot of older women. And this older woman had a granddaughter who married this guy. And there was always problems going on. I mean, when they first got married, there were just constant issues. And I knew the couple too. It was in a social circle. I ain't going to identify it too much. And I knew the couple too. Remember when they got married, and even before before they got to their first anniversary, there was just problems. And I remember this woman, she told me, she said to her granddaughter, said, well, okay, well, what do you cook for them? And the granddaughter looked at his grandmother, was like, cook? She didn't do like a lot of little things. She didn't do it. Now somebody said, well, I don't need to cook for men. I don't need to. But still. So what the woman did, the young lady, she started cooking for her husband. I remember I saw him a couple years later. I never forget it. And they were just chilled, like real nice and everything. And I remember specifically what he said. I said to him, I said, man, everything looked like it's going well. And he don't know. I don't know if he know what her grandmother had said to me if they had that conversation. And this came out. Probably didn't have that conversation, but I never forget what he said. Or if they did have that conversation, I don't think she would necessarily say, well, I told him specifically. But I'd never forget what he said. He said, everything's great. She cooked for me now. And he doing it. And let me be clear, that's not saying, look, you got to look at it this way. It ain't saying that she was in submission and all of that. That's just doing something nice for him. See, it's something. See, understand something with men in general. What we do in general is in reaction to what y'all present. I've known some women, they'll treat that man like a king, do some nice stuff for him, and the man do whatever for him. And I've seen some other women, they mean to the guy, talk them down. I know at least one guy, still blame his death on how his wife treated him publicly in front of people. If I run into her, I'll tell her straight up. I wouldn't give a shit. That she was just not respectful to him in public. Because what it is, many men, they reacting. You're part of the equation. And see, when you're dealing with men, you need to acknowledge what you did. And if you had a bad relationship with a guy, you need to acknowledge, okay, what could you have done better? What you could have done differently? How you could have treated him nicer? How you could have spoke to him? Even how you made love to him. Look at your part. Maybe dress a little bit sexier for him. Yeah, that too, because sex counts. Everything you could have done for him, right? And then it's not even about necessarily getting back with him, but it's acknowledging it and learning, and then you don't make that same mistake again. It's just that simple, ladies. Once you acknowledge your stuff, then you can change yourself and make yourself a better person. Like I said, and not to get him back, because maybe he needed to learn something too. And he's not innocent in all this. He did some stuff. Everything you acknowledge and you saw, he did it. And I would tell him, I say, dude, you need to acknowledge everything you did so you don't do it again. But see, this is the woman's channel now. I'm talking to y'all. Acknowledge it. Just say, you know what? You could do better. Sometimes you might have to be like, hey, you maybe even apologize, but you don't have to get back with it. You know it the next time. You don't make the same mistake twice. And let me be clear. I wrote that in my book for men. I told them, learn from each experience. And you got to acknowledge it. Don't pretend like it didn't happen. Don't be innocent. See, there's too many women, they were been innocent, didn't acknowledge this stuff, and then they kept doing the same thing over and over. You don't need to do it. Once you break up from a guy, always just say, okay, what did I do? What did I do? And it ain't necessarily good or bad, it just is. But then you can move on. All right. So anyway, ladies, I want y'all to think on that. And I'll get back with y'all in a day. So you know how I am. I haven't started changing. I record these back to back. So this will be the same thing I get on for the next video. So anyway, ladies, I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.